Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Nathan Fox. That's Erik Johansson. I'm one of the founders of LSATdemon.com. Erik teaches for us at LSAT Demon. He also produces our podcast. We have an email here, looks like from Anonymous.
Hey, Ben, Nathan, or Erik. I was wondering how law schools would react to me including an achievement I had in high school on my law school resume. In my senior year of high school, I was fortunate enough to place third in the nation in speech and debate. I'm applying as a K through JD, so this achievement will only be 3 years prior to when I'm applying. I'm confident in my other stats as my LSAT practice tests are in the low 170s and I'll have a 3.8 GPA at the time of applying. I also do have more recent softs like mock trial, moot court, and working as a legal assistant for my local state attorney's office. However, none really compare in scale to the national level achievement I had back then in high school. Will mentioning a high school achievement make law schools put too much focus on my age, or am I overthinking this? Thank you guys so much. I love the podcast and everything you do. Well, thanks for writing in, Anonymous. What do you think, Nathan? Do we keep high school stuff entirely off of our law school applications?
You know, it's a pretty nice achievement, although place number 3 in the nation in speech and debate in what? Like what competition was that? What I feel like I would need more there. Is this something that was really open to all high school students in the entire country?
Hmm.
Or is this something that only certain high school students were even eligible for? Um, I think you have a bit of a risk when you include this, which is just somebody reads it and they're like, oh God, here we go. Somebody else talking about high school. Or, oh, wow. So high school is the best achievement you can come up with? Like you haven't done anything since then? Um, Now, you do have other things to talk about: mock trial, moot court. Sounds like you've got a job in the law.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I I think that job in the law is a lot, seems to me it would be more compelling. Like what's going to make them think that you're going to be successful in law school? High school debate? Hmm, I don't think so. Actually working in your state's attorney's office, knowing what lawyers do, wanting to pursue that life even after working in a law office, that to me makes it look like somebody who's going to be employable as a lawyer. And I just don't know that the high school speech and debate achievement is really that impressive. I mean, every law school applicant has impressive shit that they did in high school. It's like that's the only people that apply to law school are the people who did well enough in college to justify applying to law school. And the only people who did well enough in college to justify applying to law school probably did pretty kick-ass stuff when they were in high school.
Yeah, what if the applicant they review right before they review you was the number 2 in the nation in speech and debate?
True. It's not even number 1 in speech and debate. It's number 3 in speech and debate. So I'm not like trying to I'm
It's an
sure this
impressive
was,
achievement, I think. Yeah.
I think so too. But the fact that neither of us know that it's really that impressive of an achievement probably means that this isn't worth violating the general rule that law schools are just not going to be interested in shit that you did in high school.
Yeah. Maybe I could see some place for it if it comes up like organically in a personal statement. If you're talking about mock trial at undergrad in your personal statement or something like that, maybe like half of a sentence can be mock trial made sense because I did speech and debate in high school. But even then, I don't know, are you stretching to kind of work that humble brag in there? You would need to write it and see how it fits in. But
Yeah, as
yeah,
one line, a half a line or something. Or, well, I mean, it's probably on. Oh, you're talking about putting it on your resume.
that's the big question is, do you put on your resume?
Oh, I guess I don't hate that. I mean, one line on your resume? Fine. I mean, I don't think I don't think it matters very much. I think I want to see the story that you're telling in your personal statement.
Yeah.
And your personal statement needs to make it look like you are going to be an inevitable success in law. You're going to kill it in law school. You're going to get a job right away. You're going to have a glorious law career. You don't want to say any of this, but you want to make it look like you're an inevitable success in the law on your personal statement. And if you do that, then including this one achievement on your resume, I can't see how that would be like a deal breaker. I also don't think that it's going to really do anything necessarily for you. So I guess, yeah, then when in doubt, why not just leave it off? I also
Hmm.
would say, how important is it that you apply K through JD? I mean, we're always saying this, but if that is your crowning achievement and that happened only 3 years ago, well, then have you thought about taking a gap year or two or three and getting some real work experience under your belt and having some achievements on your resume that clearly eclipse something like that? Because if you're scraping to get something like that onto your resume in the first place, then yeah, I can see the Harvards of the world just being like, no, we want people who have been out in the real world and who have um, proven
Hmm.
that they can translate their academic achievements or their school achievements to something happening in the real world.
Yeah.
So, and I know that there are tons of K through JDs who go to law school, even at Harvard, and that's fine. It's
Hmm.
just not anything that we would ever push anybody into because law schools are always going to be there. And maybe with a bit more time and experience, you'll realize that law is not even what you want to do.
Yeah.
Or if
Which
you
would be a
realize
great
that
outcome, by the way,
that
if you figure that out
that
and
would be an
save
excellent
yourself from that before you go to law school.
that would be an excellent outcome if you realize, oh yeah, there's actually other stuff that I find more promising for me.
Hmm.
Um, Flip side, if you work for a couple of years and it like reinforces your idea that you do in fact want to practice law, well then great, because now you're applying to law school with better credentials and more certainty and hopefully some specific ideas about what you want to do in the law. So you'll just be bringing more to the table, and I think you'll get more out of it yourself potentially if you wait a year or more.
Agree. Outside of immigration issues, I can't ever see myself saying, like, no, a gap year is a bad idea. If like if taking a gap year means you get deported, maybe then don't take a gap year. But for everyone else, thumbs up, take a gap year.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I mean, I just don't I know that, people have parents and friends and family and stuff and or they, who are pushing them into this or they just think like people sometimes the kids just put this pressure on themselves like, I want to I have to
Yeah.
make sure that I graduate before I'm 23 so that I can then start working and so I can also start a family at the same time. And it's like, whoa, okay. You're just in a awful damn hurry to get yourself into the rat race. And you could explore the world while you're young. You could explore various careers while you're young. Uh,
Yep.
you could focus on your grades now. I noticed that you have a 3.8, which is good, but not great. That's going to be below the 50th percentile at every top 14 school. So the fact that you're studying for the LSAT now while also doing extracurriculars, while going to school, while emailing a podcast, all those things are maybe dragging down your grades. And if you took some more time, maybe you bump that up a bit before you graduate. And that would be the best thing that you could do for your law school application. Totally separate from this whole rest of this conversation. Are you
Hmm.
getting straight A's right now? Because if you're not getting straight A's right now, you should not be studying for the LSAT.
Yep.
Cool.
Totally agree with that. I applied with a 3.82
Yeah,
and
and it
a
didn't go that
175,
well for you.
and it did
Right.
not go that great for me at
Right.
top schools.
Because top schools are really, really interested in your grades.
Yep.
So And I want to say that like your recent softs, like mock trial, moot court, this job that you have, could you quit 2 of those and keep one of them and really kick ass in that one thing? Because kicking ass in one thing while getting straight A's is way more appealing to these law schools than being okay at school while doing like but while half-assing 3 extracurriculars because you're just looking for resume bullets.
Hmm.
All right. Let's leave it there. Thanks for writing in, Anonymous. Email daily at lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.